Hi there, welcome to the Tent News, where the truth comes to light and the stories everyone is talking about are brought straight to you. From shocking confessions and viral social media moments to real life mysteries and trending drama, this is the place where we uncover it all. Now, please watch this video first, and I will be back with the rest of my commentary.
One thing I really admire foreign nationals for is their entrepreneurial mindset and spirit. They are able to identify opportunities more than obstacles, despite the circumstances, the conditions, the backgrounds they come from. Some of them can't even read properly nor read. Some of them have never even completed school, but they're here in South Africa owning businesses. Because when you want to be successful as badly as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Where there's a will, there's a way. They have that entrepreneurial mindset and spirit where some will even cross rivers with crocodiles. Others will dodge bullets, escape cannibalism, um, whatever, extremes, because they want to get into a land of opportunities, South Africa. Not because South Africa is a first world country. They're aware that it's not a first world country, but they're able to identify opportunities and extract them at their best to make them work for them. But what do South Africans have? South Africans have got charisma and unity, which is something that the foreign nationals don't have. It is very seldom that you hear a foreign national whining in their country that no, I can't go to South Africa and start a business because I don't have 5 million rand capital. I don't have the money to employ South Africans, 60% of South Africans there. I don't have capital. I don't have the necessary compliance documents. They've not approved my visa. If for anything, they will rather get into the country illegally. Because when you want to succeed as badly as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. You'll do whatever it takes, no matter what. Some things you don't need a degree for, you don't need your parents' support, you don't need your government. You just need to tell yourself that I'm doing this and it's gonna get done. Now back to South Africans. A few years ago when I was unemployed, I started a tutoring company and I made some good money. I only needed paper and internet. Luckily, at home we had a printer, a very old printer. I used to print past papers and give it to all of my students. I'd offer one-on-one tuition supports. I'd come to their homes, tutor them. When I got my clients, I used to do door to door. That's how I got majority of my clients and my students. I also had a bakery where I used to sell muffins, not your regular ones, but a variety of different flavors: chocolates, vanilla, blueberry, bran, whatnot, cappuccino, etc., etc. Because at the time, most people were only selling vanilla or scones. And I used to walk rather than taking a taxi. My primary target market was school children, especially those from multiracial schools. I'd walk because when I walked, I'd sell along the way, even to construction workers, whether they catcalling you or they whistling at you. I'd go to them, I'd sell to people that are waiting in line for their taxis or their buses at bus stops. I'd sell to high school children. I'd sell to even people that are selling on the streets. Because when you want to be as successful as badly as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I didn't think, oh no, what about the electricity? Um, what about the cost of traveling to go and order stock and whatnot? If for anything, when I reached the primary schools, I'd have like 50% of my muffins available for stock. I even got children to scream for me, 3 rand my cake, 350 my cake, tola my chips mahala, and all of that. And I'd pay them like 2 rand, and some would do it for free because they thought it was a joke, and would make lots of money. And it even got to a point where I used to make so much money that the coloureds started threatening me. So I come mainly from coloured schools, so I know the environment very well. Some of them thought that I'm not from there or from the area, but I grew up literally in in coloured schools in Wentworth. I even used to carry okap, a knife, taser, and a pepper spray in my bag, those sling bags with money, where I kept my money, because I knew if I have to defend myself, I will defend myself, because people were starting to threaten me that you in my territory and whatnot. But when you've got that hunger and you know that no matter what, I'd rather die, then things will just open up for themselves. They didn't do anything to me. If for anything, they started buying from me. The same people that were threatening me. So with South Africans, train your mind to see opportunities before obstacles. No, but we don't have capital and whatnot. If you're receiving 350 Rand from SASSA for unemployment or whatever, go buy chicken, sell chicken dust, have your own unique sauce. If you're good at braiding, learn how to braid other styles, learn how to install, learn how to do nails, pricing. Don't price fix. Don't expect that South Africans are going to buy from you just because you're South Africans and then feel sorry for yourself. No. Have a modus operandi. You are in business, but it does not mean at the same time that all people should just buy from you just because you're a South African. No, it doesn't work that way. Make sure that you're competitive. What would make people want to buy from you or get services from you? Some of the places when we enter them, this is for both foreign nationals and South Africans. You just look at the place and it's so not aesthetically pleasing, it's not inviting, it's not clean, it's not welcoming, it doesn't have that oomph. And when you greet the person with the cashier or whoever, they just dull, they don't have that excitement. I'm not saying that when everyone comes, hi, no, I'm just saying build a rapport. Uxisana nomuntu. Oh, wazwa muhle. Oh, ama-braids akhaza amahle. Kwenzephi? Baze babahlela bobhaqa. Lalela, did you see how handsome Anthony Joshua was? Or what? Build these small conversations, laugh. We've got that naturally. Charisma, rapport building, customer service. When someone tells you that, no, I don't like this, nan, all of a sudden, no, the customer, nan, it's not always that the customer is always right and whatnot. No, learn how to take constructive criticism. I work with a lot of international customers in sales. Most of my sales, I make them because of the charisma. It's a skill. You communicate with people. Oh, where are you from? Even when you're speaking to South Africans that are abroad, you can easily identify, oh no, this white person is from South Africa. Where are you from? Your name sounds South African. Are you from Johannesburg? Yeah. Actually, how did you know? It's because I know lots of us when we speak with international clients. It's what makes us South Africans different. And they would buy from you just because you mentioned that you're South African and you could easily identify that they're South African. Oh, I love boxing. I love Anthony Joshua. So this, yeah, but building rapport. Also, it's very important that you don't price fix, because price is also very important. If you really want to set your prices well, don't have this mentality that I'm not going to display my prices. I want people to come into my shop and then I'll tell them different prices based on how they look, because some of the shops when we enter, they tell us different prices just because we look or smell like we've got money. But with others, they told different prices. No, people don't like that. Be clear and concise. You're not selling cars unless if you are selling cars. Even cars, they have their own prices that are written there. Be clear and transparent. Don't beat around the bush. Learn customer service. Take constructive criticism. Don't wait for opportunities. When you want to succeed as badly as you want to breed, then you'll be successful. Upskill yourself. Watch YouTube, tutorials, whatever. Learn languages.
I have actually been saying this for the longest time now that South Africans, instead of crying, sitting down, how about we stand up and take action? How about we stand up and try something out? Learn from these foreigners. This lady right here is talking about how foreigners are entrepreneurial and, business-minded people. They will actually pick up an opportunity when it appears. When there is an opportunity, they will pick it up and use it wisely. How about we also do that? I've come across so many women crying that your things are very bad. I don't have anything with the kids. We are hungry. This woman is not working. She's at home. She's not doing anything. But guys, you are receiving SASA. How about you take that money, half of the money, and start something? Mind you, you can even start something with 200 rand. You can buy eggs, boil those eggs, and go around selling those eggs, and then you have started something. You can start a business of like anything. You can start anything, guys. With the money that you have, you can start anything. It's just that we are lazy. We don't want to work. We don't want to stand up. We want to point a finger to say, this person is the problem. This person is the one that is causing my problems. No one is causing you your problems. No one. Even if these foreigners can leave today, you will still wake up tomorrow and find yourself there, still crying. That's when you will realize that the problem were not foreigners. The problem is you yourself. If there are no jobs, how about you create your own business? There are so many things that you can do online, like so many things. It's just that we don't want to work. And this, for instance, they've traveled. There is no one who can travel from their country to another country to go and relax. They're there to make money. I don't even think there is any South African who traveled outside South Africa to just go there and relax. They're there to make money. They're there to work. But us as South Africans, we are relaxed. We don't want to put in effort. We don't want to work. We just want to sit down and complain. Wait for the government to come and save us. And it does not work like that. As South Africans, it's high time we stand up and also do something. Learn from those foreigners.